Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Timothy here with Mana Rocks, and we're going to be continuing our Eldraine Courtside Brawl with the Savage Hunter deck. Last time we played the Knight deck. This time we're playing a Sacrifice themed deck. It's in Jund colors, and the goal is to build out kind of these engines that let you draw cards, mainly the commander, whenever you sacrifice permanents. Your commander is Corvold, a Fey Cursed King. It's 2 and Jund colors, so 5 mana total for a 4/4. It's a Dragon Noble. Funny. It has flying, and when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you sacrifice another permanent. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Corvold and draw a card. So this is really a deck that is trying to win with combat damage through the commander because it can get really huge if you set up stuff ahead of time. Then you have things like Mayhem, Devil, and Judith to kind of pay you off for sacrificing things, Moldavine, Reclamation. You'll notice just by looking at the curve without looking through every single card that this is an extremely clunky deck. There's tons of late game stuff and not a lot of ramp. There's like 2 cards early on that you can play that ramp you ahead. So things like Arcane Signet are some of your best cards. What not to do with this deck is cast it on turn 5, sacrifice a land, and hope it survives, because that's not going to work out. You really want to cast this on like turn 7 or 8, hopefully when you're not under a lot of pressure, and then start sacrificing some of your expendable cards like food tokens and stuff like that, and then start sacrificing treasure and whatnot to get ahead of the opponent and outcard them. The fact that drawing a card every time you sacrifice a permanent like that's pretty busted. So this has potential to be a busted 100 card commander, but in Brawl, this deck is very fair and possibly, in my opinion, the worst of the 4. No, I think the Knight deck is probably the worst of the 4, but this one, it's a little bit of a clunker. It has trouble beating like the Fairy deck and stuff like that, especially since their commander makes an army of flyers, and that's pretty good against one giant flyer. So that's the deck this time. I have played it a number of times, and it's been pretty fun for the most part, so we're going to go ahead and do that today. Remember, if you want to see more Brawl content, especially if you want us to brew when Brawl is official and we can start building our own decks on Arena, let me know in the comments below, or find us on Twitter at mtg_manarocks. So enough with that. We're going to play 3 matches with the Savage Hunter deck. Let's get into the games. All right, we're up first. Solid hand. Pollen Bright Druid's not exactly a great card, but we have a couple removal spells. In fact, that's all we have, and we have our mana plus a scry towards another land. Right now, I just want ramp or lands. I'll take a Leyline Prowler. That is one of the 2 things I just asked for. Pollen Bright Druid. It's a little dorky. A little bit dorky. I'll go ahead and just play this. We'll play Prowler next turn. I guess this can put a counter on something. There's like a mini proliferate theme. Every time I've played against an opponent who's playing this deck, they have this on turn 2. Not that I think it's amazing, but it is kind of annoying that they always have it on turn 2. Like, why can't I have stuff on turn 2? It's also really sweet in the deck, because one of the problems with this card is if you drop too low life total, it actually starts to kill you, and you can just sacrifice it with Corvold whenever you need to. Ooh, Mayhem Devil's probably one of the better cards in the deck. I like the idea of just Death Sprout and Mayhem Devils just to get the land ramp, and then I can kind of run out Corvold next turn. Plus I get to attack with the Prowler. I'm not super worried about this thing because I have the Taste of Death in my hand. I guess I'm getting a mountain here, right? Yeah, let's just get a basic mountain. I think there's significantly less red than anything else, but we'll go and do that. Taste of Death is a little bit awkward against them, because if they have Corvold off, they will actually draw cards for each creature they sacrifice. And they chose not to attack, or not to block. Interesting. They're definitely keeping up mana here for a removal spell, so I'm not going to play Corvold. I think that's how you lose. Could go Pollen White Druid. I don't care what happens to this. So I'll put a counter on this Prowler and see if that baits him into using a removal spell. Could also proliferate my opponent's creature. Could proliferate this forest. These are all options. Yeah, let's see if the opponent wants to go ahead and use a removal spell on Leyline Prowler. They do not, but they almost certainly have a removal spell in hand. A, because there's pauses, and B, because I know there are 4 mana instant speed removal spells like Bake into a Pie, which is a real card that exists. Fantastic. I'm not knocking it. This looks sweet. All right, so they go for Corvold here. I'll just go ahead and turn it into a pie. I will have to deal with this before it comes to 6/6, but we're probably going to Taste of Death them. All right, again, I don't think they're blocking Leyline Prowler here. I might actually just run out my Corvold here because I don't care about my Pollen Bright Druid and get them to use their removal spell. I have enough mana to replay it. I think I'm actually going to do that. I will sacrifice Homeboy here, which is probably going to die to this Taste of Death at some point anyway. Drew Izoni. Izoni is one of your like payoffs in this deck, but I don't think it's a very good one. To be honest, you're not self-milling or anything. Like naturally you might get 3 to 4 bugs or something like that. Conrad can go ahead and hit me for 5. Sire Conrad. This thing is a 4/4 now. All right, what you got? Show me the removal spell for Corvold. No removal spell for Corvold. Oh, okay. No, there's some pie bacon. Let's go and put it in the command zone, and then we're probably going to go ahead and fire off this Taste of Death here. Just get both of my creatures here. Oh, they blocked. Well, that changes things a little bit. I might just cast a Zoni now. Sure, Conrad triggers twice. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and play this next turn, right? I don't really want to draw them 3 cards if Corvold's on board. I guess I could replay my Corvold, but then I'm sacking a land. I don't really love the idea of that either. Guess I'll just play a Zoni. I can hold up 1 activation. This triggers on any creature. God, this card's so good. It's an uncommon. We mentioned this last time, right? Because this is also in the Knight deck. You know, what with being a Knight and all, but this is a really just complicated uncommon. Also legendary. Is this the first legendary creature at uncommon we've seen since Dominaria? I know there have been planeswalkers and whatnot, but no, there was like Mowu, maybe a couple others. So not the first. All right, Conrad, get in there. I'm gonna do the bug thing. I want to draw some cards with a Zoni. Yeah, I'm sure. That's why I clicked it. Conrad gets us again. Ooh, this card is kind of insane. All right, opponent goes Signet. Still holding back on their Corvold. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they're going for it here. All right, Corvold comes down. And they're going to sacrifice the food token? Or the 1/1? What did they sacrifice? A land? They did. They sacked a land, the madman. All right, well, this is kind of great. I can just play Thorn Mammoth and kill Corvold. They don't have anything they can sacrifice instant speed or any mana. And that's kind of busted. I wasn't expecting to draw this or them to just have a 5/5 here. I should have tapped differently. No, I have the Signet. It doesn't matter. Boom. And attack with Izoni. Really? Okay. Sure. You're up, opponent. Make another token. Make infinite blockers. This triggers anytime a creature enters my side of the battlefield. So, I'm going to go ahead and block and sack. I don't care about these 1/1s. Activate, yes. Sack, yes. Conrad triggers. Conrad has dealt 6 damage despite not hitting us through combat. Actually, it might have hit us once. I don't remember. Are they going to replay their commander again? Rapacious Dragon. Okay. Now would probably be the best time to go for Taste of Death, but I've got this Mammoth on board, which is really good. Yeah, so, like, we can go Mayhem Devil. And then just have the Thorn thing fight Conrad. They do have treasure tokens, so they could do something. No, and they just scoop. Yeah, this Thorn Mammoth is definitely way too good of a card. Or at least for these Brawl decks. Why does it trigger on other creatures in turn? It's got the Gargos style effect where it triggers when you deal with, like, when other things are happening, which seems wrong to me. But nice first game, nice mirror match to kind of showcase what we're doing here, even though the commanders didn't get super frisky. But kind of the point is to leverage some sacrifice effects. Although I guess we didn't do that. We just used removal. So maybe we didn't showcase what the deck was doing. But that's what match 2s are for. So I will see you all in match 2. All right, we're back. I do think we have to mulligan this hand for the first time in this series. The Cryptic Caves is super awkward with the Golgari Finebroker. And while Rhythm of the Wild is probably one of the better cards and Thorn Mammoth, we don't have any ramp or mana fix in here. So I'm going to take the freebie Mole. Yeah, we'll keep this. Fine Finality is probably one of the better cards we can have here. Goblin Crater Maker sucks. I don't know why that's in there. We're against Tulane, which Finality is presumably really good against. Playcrafter maybe not so much. But we do get to curve Enforcer into Playcrafter, which seems pretty good. And Moldavine Reclamation is not terrible. But you can already see what I mean when I say this is kind of a clunky deck. It requires a lot of setup. Requires you to tap out a lot and not really affect the board. Can't play Crafter, unfortunately, so we will enforce her. I hardly even know her. And I am just hoping to draw lands, to be honest. Circuitous route. So the Tulane deck goes ramp, and then tries to curve into like a Meteor Golem or that Thorn Mammoth thing, or just like lock you out with Frilled Mystic. Evolution Sage is such an odd card in here. I think it's terrible, but that's just me. So question is, do I play Crafter this away, or do I just play my Leyline Prowler? And I guess I answered that as soon as I clicked Leyline Prowler and put it on the battlefield. Although Play Crafter does get a little bit worse here. So not really any 1-drops, I don't think. Alright, untapped sources are good. I would like to build up to this Finality, which means I don't really want to cast Playcrafter yet. There are very few creatures in that deck that are going to survive a Finality. So I think what I'm going to do here is jam with the Enforcer, because they're not blocking. Or I guess I don't even need to do that. Should have played this first anyway, if that's what I was going to do. This means Tulane can't just freebie 2 damage into me. Trade 1 damage for like 4 potentially. And this will be pretty good post-Finality. I do need an untapped source to be able to cast Finality next turn. There's no guarantee I can do that. Opponents... Oh, I like this. 5 mana, draw a card. They just don't have anything else they really want to cast? You could have a creature light hand. All right, opponent, don't pass the turn with that mana up. That's Frilled Mystic mana. Oh, it's the Beanstalk Giant. So 3 mana to Rampant Growth. Comes in untapped, and then 7 mana to cast this as a creature with power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. Pretty solid. That will definitely survive a Finality. Oh, they're gonna... Do you have removal for my Leyline Prowler? I don't think so. I don't think you do. Alright, that's nice. Still no red mana. We're probably gonna... Oh no, this will actually survive Finality, won't it? Let's go ahead and attack. Oh, our opponent has run away together? Sure. Also, I don't know why I was attacking there thinking that Leyline Prowler was gonna do something. Now I can just cast Playcrafter. Sack Spirit, make them sack Tulane. That seems decent. This also draws me a card. I mean, they have plenty of mana to recast it. They can just go like Tulane, Paradise Druid, or something. Savvy Hunter is a sweet card. Attacks or blocks make a food. Sack 2 food to draw a card. Parhelion. Alright, well, GG us, I guess. GG us. We do not have a way to kill this Parhelion, do we? We would, but they're going to get the tokens. Oh, it's not colorless. This isn't destroy target artifact. It's destroy target colorless non-land permanent. So it can't kill this because it's not a... that's bad. Parhelion 2, huh? Do we have a good line of action against that? Probably not. So what's the play? I can only play one thing. Can't even cast Corvold. Oh boy. And then this thing survives finality, so they'll still have a way to crew. It's not good. First things first, let's go ahead and attack this time, because we are attacking. And then let's go... I can only cast one of these 3-drops. I guess just the Leyline Prowler. I'm going to sack this now. There's no way we're not just getting red mana anyway. Alright. They're probably going to play like their commander and then crew. They could play the Beanstalk Giant, which I'm going to need a hard removal spell for. Parhelion's about to just show me the business. I'm going to take, what, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm just dead next turn. Unless I draw specifically a removal spell for the Parhelion this turn. Cranko is not that bill. I guess I can chump block for a turn. Oh, I guess they can't even attack with the Parhelion with Corvold on board because it'll be a 5/5. Huh. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad. So I play this, I sack probably just like Plaguecrafter here. Yeah, this might be the game plan. Sack Plaguecrafter. I want to sack this Spirit, but I need that chump block just in case something goes really wrong. Although, if they kill Corvold and attack with the Parhelion, they have 16 flying damage. Block, block. Yeah, I can't sack the Spirit, really. Wow. Didn't even draw land. Oh, I mean, I guess we drew land, but not great. Should I send Leyline Prowler in? I don't think so. Fairy Formation, another beater. Another just straight beater. Keeper of Fables. Okay. That one survives finality. Fortunately, so does Corvold. Oh, they're going to send that in. Okay. So this might be pretty good. So I get to... Yeah, this actually isn't bad. I get to go ahead and block an Angel, block Parhelion, and take 12. But I get to untap in finality. Oh, I didn't kill Parhelion. I'm stupid. I needed to use that block to actually kill the Parhelion. Okay, well... Right. I needed to not just eat an Angel. I needed to actually kill that thing. That's bad. Because what happens here? I go finality, and then they attack, and I die to the Angels, right? And none of the cards in my hand do anything. Plus, they definitely have enough to crew it. Crater Maker being, like, super specific here is really hosing me. I don't think I have a game plan here. I was supposed to trade off. Why did I do that? And then I could have wiped the board and I guess I would have to deal with this thing, but that'd be much more manageable. I don't think I have the option to do the same thing this turn. Because I need, like, everything to survive. Play Rapacious Dragon. Make some treasure tokens, which draw me cards. This can get up to 7. I guess, I mean, yeah, let's just see what we draw here. Maybe we draw something I'm not really thinking of. Draw a card. Golden eggs, kind of whatever. Black mana, draw a card. Golgari Guildgate. Yeah, and we're just dead. Can't even finality at this point. Alright, we'll go and give him the GG. I messed that game up. I was supposed to trade Corvold for the Parhelion and then finality everything away. And just deal with this Angel and the Beanstalk Giant. So my opponent gave me the out, and I didn't take it. And we take the loss for that. But we probably would have been in a tough spot regardless. Because we would have had to tap out for finality for the most part. Yeah. Anyway, let's go and play one more match and see how we do. I thought we were doing really good against that deck, but Parhelion in particular is tough for us to deal with. So let's go and play one more match, and then we'll wrap this one up. All right, we are back on the draw. We're against the Knight deck with an extremely slow hand. 1 black source, despite 4 mana sources, and 2 double black cards. I'm going to keep it. This is ramp. Hopefully Find Broker's not the first thing we have to cast this game. There we go. Thrash and Bronodon is respectable. Let's go and play Rugged Highlands and pass. Also, Bronodon seems respectable against the Knight/Equipment deck. Also has Sire Conrad. Let's go and make Blue Cat real quick. Alright, good old Corpse Knights. The Witch's Oven. What are we doing here? Probably just playing Signet, right? Signet into the Witch's Oven. Not super impressed with this card. You don't really have a lot of token creatures that you want to sacrifice. This deck doesn't really generate like tons of tokens, so it's not great. I did just notice the face on this food, though. It's kind of great. All right, Corpse Knight, do your worst. No red mana from the opponent. That or they want to cast like a double black card or something. Bella of the Brawl. So when this attacks, other knights get +1/+0 until end of turn, and it has Menace. Not bad. And that being said, that was a decent draw. I don't mind running out Bronodon. Yeah, let's go ahead and just run out Bronodon. Mountain. Mountain can stay on top. Extra mana can't hurt. I've got this dumb Thorn Mammoth in my hand, which is just absolute beating of a card. Plus, more mana can't be bad for Corvold either, which we could cast next turn, but we're not going to. Black, black, white, white. Still no red mana from the OP. Bella can get in there. I will snap block up on Corpse Knight. Foulmire Knight. This one's an instant, actually. I thought it was a sorcery. And then they can replay it as a Death Toucher. Fine by me. I'm going to take a damage. They're going to hit me for 3. This is all fine. Maybe. Okay, my opponent does not know that their own card has Menace. That's probably a plus for us. That's probably alright. That gives us time to run out Sir Conrad. This card is really good. We just talked about that like in the last video. Alright, opponent found black mana. It's possible they've had this in their hand their whole time. Oh no, not D-Spark. Thankfully we get to sack it at least. Get some value out of that. And we have the Golgari Findbroker. Shine in Armor. Okay, this is +0/+2 in Vigilance. Just auto-equips to something? Sure. I think I'll trade Bronodon for this stupid 1/1 Death Toucher. Am I? Am I, though? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, actually, you know what? My opponent's going to play this next turn and attack with Bella. And then they get to draw a card. I have 6 mana. Let's go Fine Broker. And then just play a tapped Stomping Ground. We can play our Thorn Elemental next turn. Could even Bronodon down this equipment if that seems like the right thing to do. Because if they just play this and then they like move the Shine and Armor to it, I can blow it up with the Bronodon end of turn. No, they had a tapped source. And they're down to 2 cards in hand. +1/+1 on their other knights. Fine by me. I do want to get this Death Toucher out of here, though, if I can do so. Oh, this isn't bad either. I can go ahead and just double block. Is their last card in hand Mortify? That would be really bad. Alright, opponent. Is your last card Mortify? I don't think it is. Alright, let's get that out of there. Maybe I just cast my commander. I'm probably just going to cast my commander, to be honest. I would rather get this down on a turn he could fight something. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know what's right or wrong. Nah, let's play this. Uses my mana up, plus it triggers off other creatures coming down. Let's go and pop Corpse Knight here. Get out of here. And I'll just go ahead and pass. That way, if my opponent wants to throw a creature in to draw a card with their commander, I have the Fine Broker back to block. Fireborn Knight, sure. It's actually not that great against this Thorn Elemental. Or Thorn, whatever it's called. Alright, let's go not play my land yet. Play Corvold. Trigger this. Fight the Lord. Sacrifice a food. Oh yeah, if anything, this is showing how good this stupid Mammoth is. And then watch this. I can play Goblin Crater Maker and then have the Thorn Mammoth just fight this Knight, and my opponent's probably close to scooping, I'm assuming. I would be close to scooping. I could have Crater Makered that away, but this is a fine block too. Shoot, this also can't be Crater Makered. God, why are you even in here? You can't blow up the artifact you're supposed to blow up. Alright, is your last card a Board Wrath? Because if it's not, you're probably dead. You can survive this Thorn. Oh no, actually you can't because I have the Crater Maker. So I'm going to play Conrad, have this fight, and then Crater Maker the Sir Gwyn away. Clunky. Clunky, clunky, clunky. Alright. Pretty sure my opponent just dies here. So let's go Crater Maker. 2 damage to Gwyn. Draw a card, get a counter. Ugh. Sick. I'm actually going to play Rhythm here and then give Vindictive Vampire haste. Yeah. Or I could give Conrad haste. Play land, give Conrad haste, kill this, attack. Boom. Yeah, that elephant thing is not a fair card. And it's in the Chulane deck as well, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, we got to smash some people, do some sacrifice stuff. Again, not my favorite deck, but I do think it's pretty sweet, even if it's super clunky. It has an extremely hard time dealing with this deck, which not only has a Death Touch Flyer as its commander, which is really good against an enormous flyer, but it makes a board of little flyers, which just gets in the way of all these big creatures. So I'm not in love with this deck by comparison to like this deck, although I do think it's a decent... I think these three are all like decent matchups, and then this fairy deck just crushes them all. But we'll see if that's the case when we get to this one. We'll play Chulane next, but that's it for Savage Hunter and Corvold. Hope you had fun. You can let me know in the comments below if you appreciate this sort of content, if you want to see more Brawl when it officially comes out on Arena, yada, 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 etc., etc. You can also find us on Twitter at MTG_Manarox, which I don't use too much, but if more people followed me on Twitter, I would probably use it a little bit more. Anyway, that wraps up this Brawl excursion, if you will. I'll see you next time with the Bant deck. Thanks for watching, and see you then.